This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Welcome to this video today on a Friday. I used to do quite a lot of videos talking about chords on Fridays, and so I wanted to return to former glory and do one of those today. If you're like me and interested in guitar stuff, then I would suggest checking out TrueFire. TrueFire sponsor this channel and they help make me able to create videos like this one. You know, I'm not expecting this video to blow up the internet, but hopefully it's somewhat useful and can hopefully guide you around some new concepts if you're interested in knowing anything about any of this stuff from a knobhead like me. But anyway, TrueFire, there's some really cool courses on there. You can use the code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. In particular, if you're interested in some of the stuff like I am, I would recommend the Martin Taylor jazz course, because that kind of shows his entire process going from sort of looking at the bare bones structure of a jazz standard, like I tend to do each week, and then building up the parts part by part. So, you know, whether it's going through a bass line, adding chords, checking out melody, adding bass line to it, it just goes through like a 9-step process of going from having nothing to having an arranged jazz standard with tabs and stuff like that. I think it's a really useful resource. There's not a ton of that stuff about from actual, you know, proper working jazz musicians, so I think that's useful. There's loads of other really good stuff on there. If you want to check out more than 1 or 2 courses, I'd recommend the All Access Pass, which is like a yearly subscription, and basically then you can dip in and out of whatever you like to check out whatever, whether it's Andy Timmons, Alan Hines, Andy Wood, Tommy Emmanuel, Mike Dawes, all of the other amazing players that are on there, Robin Ford. But anyway, check that out. So here's the concept that hopefully might inspire something in you. Today we're going to be thinking about, well, I did actually have this in mind in the key of D flat major, but let's do it in D major just to be more friendly. So we're going to be starting on our A string. And what the concept here is that instead of chords just being, you know, this one fixed, we can actually have chords that have movement. Within them to make something which we maybe haven't heard so many times before. Like we heard these kind of things all the time. Have you ever heard that sort of thing. So that's the idea. So that is the first structure I wanted to kind of get into. So we're starting on the D string, then on the A string, sorry, on the D. So that's our root. Then you can either do a bar like that or move on to your middle finger. So we're going to go from our D on the 5th fret to our G on the 5th fret to the A on the 7th fret. And then I want you to try and hold this finger and maybe hold the D whilst you're doing that as well. Not. So the goal here is to try and hold your fingers down to the fretboard for as long as you can. Okay, and then we're going to go up the scale. Still holding our pinky here, so 4th fret, 6th fret. And then we're going to hit our root up here again on the 3rd fret. So you'll notice that we're jumping up a 4th to the 5th, and then following the scale all the way up. So give that a try. And I think we could probably just completely copy that, because that's giving us like a major 7 sound. So we could do that on the D, or we could do that on the G. Although we can't play our C here, so it's going to need to be a sharp 4. So already that is inspiring in me a load of thoughts. Because it's something that's kind of new, fresh to my ear. Doesn't really work the same descending though, right? So maybe think about this as just being a one-way kind of trip. So that's our main thing. So 5th fret, 5th fret, hammer, 4th fret, 6th fret, 3rd fret, and notice I'm holding on for as long as I can so that we get those kind of notes ringing into one another. Then let's move up. So the next thing, so we're kind of visualizing this in terms of a D major scale, then E, in this kind of way. So for me personally, I think about things generally in 3-note per string. So underneath that, I'm seeing like a D Lydian, A Mixolydian, or B Aeolian. I'm just seeing that actually is diatonic D major. So then, same idea. So we're going to go on our 7th fret, we're going to jump up a 4th. So then E, A, B, 5, 7, 6, 7, 5. So that's one more. Here's the concept continued. 9th fret, 9th fret, 11th fret. There you go. 9, 9, 11, 7, 9, 7. That's 3. Okay, then we talked about this G one already. So 10, 11, 12, 9, like that. 10, 11, 12, 9, 11, 8. Here we've got one on the 12th fret, 12, 12, 14, 11, 12, and then A in the top on the 10th fret. That sounds really cool to me. You could kind of think about resolving. And add in these little movements. I think once you get started on this, you might find that you can't stop. kind of like serial killing. 14, 14, 14, 14, 16, 12, 14, 12. Another here, and this will be our last one. And kind of bad sounding. Might have a use. And then we start to repeat. So that's literally all I want you to maybe try checking out. And try it in other keys. And just give that a play and just see where that sound kind of takes you in your explorations. There's 7 in D major. And then try your own kind of ways out of it. You want to keep a relaxed hand for this. Try and keep a relaxed hand for this. You know, and if you're starting to feel like a little bit of tension or whatever, just relax a bit and maybe stop doing it for the day. This might feel quite tricky to start off with. I know for me, when I first heard people like Julian Lage, Jonathan Kreisberg, some of these folks that were doing these kind of movements within chords, it all felt a little bit like really difficult. Also the neo soul thing, there was a kind of period there where there was a lot of this kind of movement within chords going on. That's just one really simple concept to try and get you in the door. So we're going to go up the scale, we're going to jump up a fourth and then continue up the scale a few more notes, basically is all we're doing, right? And holding down for as long as we can. So jump up a fourth. And then we're going to end on the octave above where we started. Follow the scale up diatonically. Give that a try. Let me know your thoughts. Have you heard other people doing this sort of thing? Is this new to you? Have you known about this for decades? Am I an idiot? I'll catch you in another video soon. The tab for this and the backing track that I was using in the intro will go up on Patreon. Incidentally, we just crossed over sort of 500 backing tracks on Patreon and stuff. So by now there is quite a rich resource of chord melody, lessons, backing tracks that you can find on Patreon if you want to. You can join that for as little as £2 a month. I hope that represents good value to a couple of you, enough to sustain me carrying on doing this thing. Cheers for now.